welcome to Chrissy Creates. Thank you for joining me. I'm still busy doing ABC April, and we are at the very last day. I cannot believe it. We're doing Z today. It's been so much fun. It's been an experience, and it's really been a learning curve for me with regard to YouTube. I want to take a moment to thank everybody who subscribed. During this month of April, I gained 53 subscribers. It is absolutely amazing. I'm so overwhelmed. I know in the bigger scheme of things, if you have 53,000, that 53 sounds like very few, but to me it's a lot, and I sincerely thank each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart. I am having a lot of fun, and I will definitely continue on this YouTube journey. I have something planned already for after ABC April. It's going to be a huge project, and it's going to take some time, but it's going to be fun. I hope you'll join me for that. Alright, let's get back to business. For ABC April, for today, I am doing a Z fold. It's also another page in my journal, mini album. I will show you just now. It has 4 Z folds in it, going to opposite sides. It's going to be fun. Thank you so much for Margaret and Toni who organized this whole thing, and for hosting it. And I can't wait to see what Toni's doing today. It's really going to be very interesting. I am still using the kit by Kristen Cronin-Barrow, a scrapbooking tale. She designs for Sweet Shop Designs. This is actually a digital kit that I just print out because I prefer working with the physical paper instead of digitally on the computer. I do link this kit down below. You are welcome to go and have a look at what they do at Sweet Shop Designs. There are very interesting kits there. And what I like about having a digital scrapbooking kit is I can use whichever pages I want, how many ever times I want to. So that is a big advantage. Okay, so I do have a prototype. I already opened it. It's just like a policy closure. It closes like this, and then you unwrap it, and I call this a horizontal gatefold. I don't know what the proper name is, but it opens up to the top and to the bottom, and then you have your Z folds over there. You can see it like forms a Z like that, and this one is just the mirror image. We have that top and bottom, and hopefully I won't be struggling so much with the closure as I did with yesterday's one. Those of you who didn't watch it, go watch it. It's actually quite funny. But that closure kept me busy for quite some time. I'm going to use some magnets, and I already tested it. I can magnetize it on this side, and that's on each side. So I'm going to use quite a few magnets. Luckily, oh come on, now they're playing around. Luckily I did get these magnets quite cheap, so I'm not too stressed about that. It wasn't so expensive, and I saved yesterday's magnets, so why not just use them today? Right, let's get cracking. As always, all the cutting instructions and score instructions are linked or are on my Ko-fi page, which is linked below. And you are welcome to pop around. I don't know if it's coffee or Ko-fi or how you pronounce it, who knows, but anyway, just pop around there and you can download it either in JPEG or PDF format, whichever suits you better. It is available for free. I do pop it into the video. I will pop it in here. And if you would like, just pause the video, take a screenshot. Hopefully you'll be able to see it, but I do know sometimes it isn't very clear on the videos. That is why I do link it or I do have it in my Ko-fi shop, and you can go and get it over there. Alright, this is the background page. As always, it's 7 1/8 by 7 1/8. And then I have the two gatefolds. They are coming top and bottom. They measure 7 3/4 by 4 3/4. And then I of course have the mats that fit on those. There they are. They measure 7 5/8 by 3 7/8. I know the 7/8, and well, when you work in eighths, it's quite niggly to find them on the on your guillotines, but I do like a very small little border. I don't like a very broad border around my mats. Of course, you're welcome to just cut these from pattern paper if you prefer that, but then I would just print out on a thicker cardstock, and my printer doesn't handle thicker cardstock that well. Okay, then we have our Z-fold flip outs. They measure 8 by 3 3/4, and then I do have 16 little squares. They measure 3 5/8 by 3 5/8. And then I have my photo mats. They are just 3, I think it's 3.5, no, it's 3 by 3 actually. In the end I decided to make a 3 by 3, and I have 2 of these that measure 5 3/8 by 3 3/4, and then I have one 7 by 5 inch. And I have 4 little spines that's going to go top and bottom over here. They are just 1/8 of an inch wide, and the same length. I think that yes, I will still cut them to length. They must just fit on these little gate folds. Let's start making our project. First off, let's score our gate folds. I hope I am in shot. Let's just quickly score our gate folds and our Z folds. So first, gate folds first. I did cut these from a thicker cardstock, so they're nice and sturdy. So the gate folds, I am just scoring on the 4 3/4 edge. I'm scoring at 1/2 inch. And at 3/4 of an inch. And then my Z folds, I'm scoring on the 8 inch edge. I'm scoring at 1/2 inch. I don't know why my cardstock seems to be catching. It's not smooth. So I'm scoring at 1/2 inch, and I'm scoring at 4 1/4. So just again, the Z folds, I am scoring at 1/2 inch and at 4 3/4. No, 4 1/4. Sorry about that, 4 1/4. So it's 1/2 inch and 4 1/4. And 1/2 inch and 4 1/4. Alright, I'm quickly going to fold all of these, burnish them nicely, and then ink edges, round corners, and glue all the mats on the backings, and then I will slow everything down again and we can construct the whole thing together. There we go. I have glued down what can be glued down. I've inked, I've laid out everything as they are supposed to go, because I've made so many mistakes in the past with where I place magnets or how I place magnets, etc., etc., and I really truly just don't want to make those same mistakes again. I just want to double check if my magnets are working, because there is a lot of pages here. Sorry, these are those magnets with the little... They're actually supposed to be used in fabric projects, and it just has like a little steel, I don't know what to call it. Oh yes, they do go through everything, and they do sort of keep it closed. How are you keeping it? Oh. Okay, so they are keeping everything closed. Everything looks good. Let's add the magnets and then we're going to put the whole thing together. So I did not glue this piece of card because I would like to hide the magnet behind that. And then I also didn't glue this background onto the base page yet. I don't know why I cut it so much shorter, but I think it is just to give me some extra room for this little flappy to go in. Why did I round this top corner? I'm supposed to go there. Oh, because I have the wrong one. Luckily, it was just the layout that was wrong. I just panicked for a few seconds there. Okay, these are the bottom two, because I rounded this bottom corner, not the top one. Okay. Alright, alright. All's well, all's well. Everything is in its rightful place. Okay, let's put everything together. So I'm just going to add one magnet while I am telling you exactly what I'm doing, so that you also know what's going on. But then I am going to do the rest in silence. I will speed it up and put some music in the background, so you'll be able to see what I do, but you won't hear what I'm saying. Okay, so first I'm going to just make a little mark where I would like this magnet to go. So just round about, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just going on gut feeling. Okay. So when I can actually maybe glue this down already and do the magnets on there. That's going to be the easiest. Okay, so I'm going to glue down all the Z folds and then add the magnets. So I'm just adding my glue to this little flappy, and then oh boy, and this other flap just seems to fall in the way. Alright, I'm just trying to get an eye on this. I think I'm just going to, I'm not lining it up exactly on the edge. I'm just placing it a little smidgen away from the edge, like that. And I'm just making sure that I'm not gluing over that fold. Alright, let's just double check. Is my background still fits in there? Okay, so I'm just going to add all of these the same in a similar way, and then I will switch the sound back on. tried my best, taking my time, trying to just make sure everything stays in line, because I would like those lines to be straight-ish. It's not completely, I didn't take a T-square or something and measure it, but just eyeballed it. Okay, so the magnet is going to go on this side somewhere. I'm thinking probably as close to the edge as I possibly can. Well, safely can. No, it won't matter, because I can't put it too close to the edge, because then this back paper that's supposed to cover it won't cover it, because it does bulk up quite a bit. So I'm just going to go around about here. Shall I? I'm just thinking, I think I'll put the magnet on here first, because this is the more niggly bit to get covered. So I'm just taking a magnet, removing that little backing thing, and I think I'll put it over there. And of course I didn't take out my double-sided tape. Let me just quickly fetch that. I got it. I'm using a rather broad double-sided tape just to secure this magnet in its place. Sorry for the noise. And I'm going to take quite a bit because I have some room. And then I'm just gluing down the magnet over there as well as I can. And I'm going to brandish the tape around the magnet as best I can. Excuse me. Nowadays I have a frog in my throat at the oddest times. That's just change of seasons. Okay, next I'm going to take the other part of the magnet, but now we have to make sure to have attracting poles face each other and not repelling poles. See, it's repelling at the moment. You can see when I try to close it, it just pushes the magnet away. So I'm just popping it over. There we go. And the magnet does its thing. And that was not so clever, but now I know this is the side that needs to go onto that page. So I'm just going to cut a piece of double-sided tape, nice long piece, and I'm placing it over this side of the magnet that we do know. Just double checking. Don't want to use this side. I think maybe it might be a good idea to just make a mark in case it falls or something. Not this one. Okay, so this is the side that's going to go onto that side. So I'm putting the side that needs to be facing up. I'm putting on the sticky side of my double-sided tape. And then I'm sticking it in place. And if the double-sided tape will just let go of my fingers, that would be good. Alright, leaving it like that and just closing the whole thing up. And then I'm going to lift this one and just push down on that back magnet to make sure that double-sided tape sticks to the back. And there we have it exactly in the right place, which is awesome. And I'm just hoping and praying that this will cover it with enough room to spare. Yes, it will. It will cover it with enough room to spare. There we go. Alright. Excuse me. Yo. So now, the only thing that's left to do is to remove this backing. Just grab a pokey tool. Oh my goodness. Usually I just use my Cricut one to... Oh, that's probably better. Okay. I'm just using my Cricut picking tool to lift this backing. And then I'm going to add enough glue all around the tape. So in case the tape loses its stickiness, the glue will sort of hold everything together. And then I'm just using a glue stick for my background paper, and I'm just going around the edges with my art glitter glue. But the glue stick holds down the middle. There we go. And then art around the edges, just to make sure it does glue up to the edges. There we go. Right, and then I am just gluing my background paper over my magnet. And it is completely hidden. It does make a little bump, but it's not very visible. That's why I love working with magnets. It just seems like magic. These pages are magically just sticking together. It's amazing. There you go. And it is holding tight enough unless you shake it. If you don't shake it, it just holds on nicely. Okay, I'm quickly going to do the rest. Now we can start to put this whole thing together. So this will be the bottom part, this will be the top part. They will go into the album like okay, that. I'm going to do the closure now. I am actually just sort of, I haven't thought of what kind of twine I'd like to use. I do have these Baker's twines, maybe the black one. Shall I use that? Yes, I think so, because I am using this background. I think that will look nice. Alright, so before we put on the fronts, we first have to do the closure. So I punched out some, I think it's 1 inch, yes, 1 inch circles. So I have 3 1-inch circles punched from 160 GSM cardstocks. I am just going to, this is just to make it a nice sturdy closure because it's going to get a lot of action. So I'm going to glue all of these together, and I made 2 of those. We're going to make like a policy closure. So I'm going to glue all of this together, and then I also punched out some smaller circles. These are 1/2 inch. So I punched out 3 for each side, well 6 in total then. So 3 for top and 3 for bottom. This is just to give it a little bit of extra space at the bottom for the string to go around. And then I'm also just thinking, this is very, very plain. It is going to have a brad through the middle. But I'm just thinking like a background stamp, maybe a scripty something, I'll still see. But you'll see what I did when I'm finished. So that's all I'm going to do now. I'm just going to glue all of these together and glue all of those together and ink around what needs to be inked around, and then I'll be back. And I also have this cotton twine that is, it's a crochet, not cotton twine, a crochet cotton, sorry. So that is much thinner than that Baker's twine that I had, and that is going to, I think 3 will work perfectly. 3 circles will work perfectly. So I'm just going to use the 6 circles that I punched, and that is going to give me enough height for this thinner one. Unfortunately, this crochet is a little bit wound up, so I think I'll have to just straighten that out a little bit. But I'll do that now as I'm gluing everything. I have everything glued and ready to go. Now I already made a little mark on the back side of the covers in the middle of the page. I am just going to punch a hole through that because, well, actually I don't want these to move, so maybe I must just make a little slit through there. You know what, let me first see where I want. I'm just going to poke a hole through with a pokey tool. No, wait, let me first see exactly where I'm going to be placing because I don't know if I want to place it right at the top. I think maybe I'd like to actually spread it out a bit. So if I want it over there, that is round about halfway mark. I'm going to just draw a little circle with my pencil because you're not going to see it anyway. Over there. And then I would like to sort of line it up and have it in a similar place on this one. So that will be around about there somewhere, and about that height, that place. Just trying to eyeball it so it is sort of similar. I'm happy with that. Okay, so it will be over there and over there. No, it doesn't look lined up at all. Does it? Yes, it does. Does it? Guys, I think I might actually sort of measure it out, because I don't want to have it stuck on my paper and think, oh, this is all kinds of crooked. So let me just grab in my ruler. I'm gonna just check. That one is about 1.25 inches from the top. Okay, I'm gonna go on with the eyeball. It doesn't seem too bad. Through these I'm just going to punch a hole with my crocodile. Where is the center of my, round about the center? I'm just eyeballing it. It doesn't have to be exact at all. And then the top ones, the top discs, I just inked with some tea dye, and I stamped with tea dye distress ink on top. It's just like a paint splatter. And this one I'm also sort of gonna eyeball these 1/2 inch. Yeah, there is the center roundabout. So I'm just, because it's too thick to punch a hole straight through everything, I'm using my small hole setting on my crocodile. Here we go. Will my brad go through that? It will. Oh, I like that. Okay, cool. That is perfect. And I'm just doing it for all the rest as well. Okay, those are done. So I am just going to glue them on my background page. Where I did make those little marks. Sorry, I'm probably going out of frame, or I'm sticking my head in front of the camera, either one of the two. I just want to make sure I get it in the right place. Okay, I'm just weighing it down a little bit. So the glue can really take. And then this background pages, the hole that goes through that, I don't want too big, because I don't want my brads to be moving. I want the brads to be held tight. So I will probably add some of the other tape to the back, just to keep everything in place. Most probably just Scotch tape. Okay, I think that is way done. I'm just trying to get all my thoughts organized. That can be tricky. Okay, there are my brads. Right, are you stuck already? I hope so, because I'm going to lift you now. It does look rather stuck. Okay, I'm just, oh no, it's not. It's not. Okay, round number 2. Let's try this again. I don't know if it's my cardstock or if they changed the recipe for art glitter glue. And my art glitter glue really is not old. I've heard people say it tends to lose its stickiness, and then you just have to wait for it to take. If it's older, but I haven't had this art glitter glue for very long, unless maybe it's been lying in a shop somewhere. Okay, I'm just going to leave that for a few hours, well, not a few hours, for a while, just to dry, and then we are going to glue this onto the backs and glue everything into the album. Okay, I think now they are rather stuck. Just trying to see if they're just about in the same space, although it's a little bit late now, I'm guessing. Okay, let's just, maybe it will also be a good idea to not hold it into the air, but rather put a piece of foam underneath. Okay, here we go. Where did my brads go? I just want to make sure the brads are not folding upward, because then it makes my space behind my disc smaller, and I don't want that. I want nice big enough space so my twine can go through. That looks good. Okay, next. I put in my mini album, sorry, I'm just checking that it is in frame, because I tend to, the moment I pull in my mini album, I tend to just go off camera. And then I realized the page I want to put it on has this piece of baker's twine on that side. So I would like it to sort of fit in with each other. So I'm going to use, I did test that baker's twine, it does work with my policy closure. So I'm just going to use that. Alright, so I'm first going to add my 2 gatefolds. Well, I'm calling it a gatefold. I don't think technically it's a gatefold. I don't really know what to call it. Flips, flaps, flops, I don't know. I'm just going to add that to the top and bottom. So I'm going to glue them in place first, and then I'm going to add my background. Sorry, I'm just thinking as I'm talking. And don't make the same mistakes I made. I rounded all the corners on my memory album. I don't know why I did that, because everything on both sides are perpendicular corners, or yeah, whatever you want to call it. So nothing is rounded, and now it just sort of looks weird. Anyway, it is what it is. Can't change that now. Okay, I'm going to glue this on. I'm not going to be talking while I'm doing it, because it's going to take a lot of concentration. I'll have to start hurrying up because I don't have a lot of time. So I just did that, and then I realized it would make more sense to add these to my background, because I was thinking, should I mitre or should I not mitre? And then I realized that it depends on whether or not I'll see some of it stick out, and I won't. Although this is actually, yeah. So I'm going to add it to the background and then add the whole lot to the album. Let's rather do that. Before I glue everything to the album, I think I just want to do a little bit of finishing touches, some decorating. I already took out some of the clusters that I made during ABC April. So I thought this one, where did I want to place this one? I wanted to place it over there. I don't mind if it goes over the line over here, because it's not going to bump into anything. It's just going to lift out. So that is just a quick little decorating. Just wondering why the one is lifting more than the other one. That is so weird. Did I actually have my whole project upside down. Oh my goodness. Thank goodness I had a look. Okay, once we have photos in there, everything will lift up that little bit more, and that's going to be perfect. So I'm just adding this little cluster over here. I'm going to just leave it at that for now. I will still decide if I would like to do anything more. Actually, was this the cluster I wanted to put here? No, this was the cluster I was going to put inside. Don't be in a hurry when you're crafting, people. It does not go well. You make all kinds of silly mistakes. Okay, I wanted to put this over here, so I'm just going to, I don't want it to overlap with the photo too much. I'm going to make sure I don't have any glue over the photo. So let's just add the glue to the bottom. No glue on the photo, please, because we still need to slide a photo underneath. And then I'm just going to quickly glue this in place. Let's do it with a glue stick in the middle. Glue stick in the middle, and then art glitter around the edges. See what I did now? I glued that a little bit too high. I actually wanted it to be more behind the... I'll need to add a little something over here. I will think of what I'm going to do, and then I'll make a fix-it. And then let's just add this one. This is the one I wanted to add to the top. I want to make sure this little stamp is glued down very well. This whole piece that will go underneath the, or sort of underneath the policy closure, I just want glued down quite well. And again, I don't mind if it overlaps just that little bit, because it's going to lift up and out, so it won't be any problems. It won't cause any problems. It's going to go out of the way. Okay, need a little extra glue over here, over here, and not over there. Okay, I'm just going to let that settle, and then I'm going to glue it into my album, and I will be back for a flip through. There we go, everything is in its place, and I made a fix-it with that one cluster that was a little bit too low, that I glued down too low on the page. I'm going to show you just now. So it just opens up like this, and then it flips to the top and it flips to the bottom. Whenever anything goes wrong, just add music. That is my new motto. Just add music. Music fixes everything. So I just added a little piece of music paper to the back, and voila. Suddenly the cluster is just a little bit bigger, and it just looks a little more pleasing to my eye. And then here we have our Z folds that you can only see Z from the top. We have these two with spaces for photos and spaces for photos and more photos, and then you also have the two at the bottom over there. If I show it from the top, you can see those two, and also photos, and I hope I'm in frame. Photos and photos everywhere. So you can add a whole bunch of photos to this page. And that is my story for ABC April. I hope you had fun with me. And once again, thank you so much to all my subscribers. I'm not saying new subscribers, because everybody is new, because my channel is new. But thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I haven't had a whole lot of comments yet, but the ones I had were just so lovely. And yes, it's an amazing community to be a part of. Thanks once again to Toni and Margreth for hosting this collaboration. It was so much fun. So what's next for Chrissy Creates? Tomorrow we have a public holiday. I think it's an international one, if I'm not mistaken, Workers' Day. So I will be taking the day and just have some family time. And then on Saturday I will post a video where I'm finishing off my mini album, and I will probably do a little flip through of this whole. It's already a chunky monkey, and it doesn't even have photos in it yet. Well, I did work out everything very well. I mean, when it's closed, this is the thickness, but I think when the photos are added, it's gonna be gaping like that. But anyway, so I'm just going to take a nice quiet day on Saturday and decorate. So please come and join me. Bring along whatever project you're working on, and I'm not going to be talking a lot. I'll probably just put on some music and be working, but hey, switch me on in the background and have a friend to craft with. I hope everybody keeps well, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.